Warm greetings to the gentlemen and ladies. I am happy that I am welcoming you on Prithya Classroom. Are you all ready for today's program? Yes. Today we are about to see example problems on number systems. So it is going to be a very interesting class because solving aptitude is a great fun, right? Okay, let's get started. Let's all read our first question. Which of the following is not a prime number? So we have to find whether the following number is a prime or a composite number. And before proceeding into the solution, let me explain what is the procedure to find whether a number is a prime or composite. Let's begin. Are you all ready to read the procedure? Good. Let's all read the procedure. Find the least value of k which satisfies the equation k greater than square root of x. So, in the very first step, what we are going to find? We are going to find the value of k which is satisfying the equation k less than square root of x. Here, x is nothing but the given number, and this equation can also be written like k square less than x. So, we are going to find the least positive value of k, which is nothing but the very nearer square number to the x. Okay, we are going to find a square number which is greater than the x. Minimum square number which is greater than the given number. Okay. Okay, let's read the second step of the procedure. What is the second step? List out the prime numbers less than k. Okay, after finding the value of k, we have to list out what are all the prime numbers present which are less than k. The third step, main step, find if the given number is if the given number x is not divisible by any of the listed or prime numbers, then the given number is a prime number. So we have to check for the divisibility condition. Okay, whether our given number is divisible by any of the listed or prime numbers in the second step. So if the answer is yes, then the given number is not a prime number, it is a composite number. And if the answer is no, then given number is a prime number. Okay, let's jump into the solution. What is the first option? 31. Okay, first step, find the value of k which is greater than the square root of given number. That is, we have to find the value of k which satisfies the equation k greater than the square root of 31. Rewriting this equation, we will get k square greater than 31. So now, we have to find the nearest square number which is greater than that of 31. 25? No, 25 is not greater than 31. 36? Yes, it is greater than 31. What about 49? It is also greater than 31. It is also a square number. Then why we have chosen 36 instead of 49? Why? Because we have to find the value of k in such a way that it is the least number which satisfies the equation. Okay, 36 will also satisfy the equation, 49 will also satisfy the equation, whereas 36 is the least square number which satisfies the equation, right? Okay, now we have to take 36. 36 is nothing but 6 squared, so the value of k is 6. Okay, finally we have found the value of k. And now the prime numbers which are less than k. Let's list out the prime numbers. Okay, 1. No, 1 is not a prime number. It is not a prime number. It is not a composite number. It is neither prime nor composite. Okay, then next number 2. 2. Next 3. Next 5. Next 7. So we have to stop here itself because we just want the prime number which are less than the k value, right? Okay, our k value is 6. So we are taking 2, 3, 5. Okay, here are our prime numbers. In the third step, we have to check whether given number is divisible by any of the listed or prime numbers. Okay, whether 31 is divisible by 2? No, it is an odd number. Whether it is divisible by 3, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Sum of the digit is not a multiple of 3, which indirectly means that the number is not divisible by 3. So the answer is no. Next, 5. No, it is not divisible by 5. Why? Because all the numbers which are divisible by 5 will end up with the unit digit 0 or 5. Here the number is 1, so it is not a divisible, it is not divisible by 5. Okay, so answer to the question is no, it is not divisible. When the answer is no, our given number is a prime number. Good. Okay, we have successfully completed checking the first option. Let's begin the second option. 61. Similarly, first step, k greater than the square root of 61. Rewriting the equation, k square greater than 61. The nearest square number which is greater than 61 is 64. 64 is nothing but 8 square. So our value of k is 8. Good. Let's list out the prime numbers which is less than k. That is which is less than 8. 2, 3, 5, 7. That's all, right? Okay. Now let's check whether our given number 61 is divisible by 2. No. Why? Because it is an odd number. 3, 6 plus 1, 7. No. 5. No. The unit digit is 1. 7. Whether it is divisible by 7? No, right? Okay. Answer to the third step is no. When the answer is no, it is a prime number. Congratulations. You are good practicing how to find the prime number. Okay. Let's begin with the third option. Third option is 91. Let's rewrite this equation. K square greater than 91. What is the nearest square number which is greater than 91? 11 square, 121. Yes, it is greater than. But why we are not taking 121? Rather, we are taking 100. I mean, we are not taking 11 squares. We are taking 10 squares. Why? Because 10 square is the nearest perfect square number which is greater than the 91. Okay, we have to take only minimum square number which is greater than the given number. Okay, so we have taken here 10. Okay, let's list out the prime numbers which are less than k. Quick. See, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. It is not a prime number. Again, 11. It is greater than the given number. Found value 10. Okay, so we have listed out the numbers which are less than this. Okay, let's check whether our given number 91 is divisible by 2. No. Whether it is divisible by 3, 9 plus 1, 10. Sum is not a multiple of 3, which means 91 is not divisible by 3. Good. 5? No. 7? Yes. 91 is divisible by 7. Okay. So it is completely divisible by 7. So answer to our third question is yes. When the answer is yes, our number is a composite number. Congratulations. Okay, let's check with the third option. 191. Let's write the equation. K greater than the square root of 191. Let's rewrite the equation like this. K square greater than 91. Okay. What is the nearest square number which is greater than 191? 196. Good. 196 is nothing but 14 square. Good. You're all clever. Okay, let's list out the prime numbers which are less than k. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Good. Okay, so we have these much numbers to check with. Okay, whether 191 is divisible by 2? No, it is a odd number. 3, 1 plus 9, 10, 10 plus 1, 11. This is not a multiple of 3, which means 191 is not divisible by 3. Good. 5, the unit digit is 1. So it is not divisible by 5 also. Next number, 7. Whether it is divisible by 7? 1, 9, 1 divisible by 7. 2 times 14, 51. It is not a multiple of 7. So 191 is also not a multiple of 7. Next, 11. 1 plus 1, 2. 9, The difference between 2 and 9 is 7, which is not a multiple of 11. So it means 11 is not a, 191 is not a multiple of 11. Let's check with 13, whether it is divisible by 13. 1 times 13, 61. It is not a multiple of 13. So it is also not divisible by 13. So 191 is a prime number. Okay. Now, what is the correct option? Which of the following is not a prime number, right? Okay, we have to read the question very carefully. Okay, here it is not asked which is the prime number. It is asked which is not a prime number. So answer to the question is 91, because 91 is a composite number. Okay, let's begin reading the second question. What is the question? What least number should be added to 1056 so that the sum is divisible by 23? Okay. Whenever we have a question like this, what we have to do? We have to divide the given number by the divisor so that we will get some remainder, right? Okay. If the remainder is 0, it is well and good. It is understood that 1056 is completely divisible by 23. In other terms, 23 is a multiple. 1056 is a multiple of 23. Okay. In case if we get remainder as in this example, what we have to do? What this remainder indirectly means? This indirectly means that 21 is a barrier for 1056 to become a multiple of 23. Okay, listen carefully. 21 is a barrier to 1056 to become a multiple of 23. How to break this barrier? We have two ways to break up the barrier. Okay, what are the two ways? Either we can add some value so that 1056 becomes a multiple of 23, or else we have to subtract the remainder from the 1056 so that it becomes the multiple of 23. Okay, when we take this method, what value we should add? We should add the difference between the divisor and the remainder. Okay, 23 minus 21 is 2, right? Okay, when we add 2 to 1056, it becomes a multiple of 23. In the second method, if we subtract 21 from 1056, what you will get? 1056 minus 21, we will get 1035, right? Okay, when 1035 is also a multiple of 23. Okay, I repeat, listen carefully. I will say it in general step. Okay, when we divide some bigger number with some divisor and it leaves some remainder, what does it mean? It means that the remainder is barrier for n to become multiple of x. Okay, in order to make n as a multiple of x, what we have to do? We have to break this barrier, so called remainder. Okay, how to break this barrier? In order to break the barrier, we have two ways. Okay, in the first way, we have to add some value. In the second way, we have to subtract some value. When we go with this addition method, we have to add the value, that is, we have to add the difference between the x and the remainder, which indirectly means we are going to add up with the sum number so that the remainder becomes divisor and the number n becomes a multiple of x. Okay, clear? Good. In the second method, we are going to subtract something. Okay, what we have to subtract? Simple. We have to subtract the whole remainder from n. n minus r is a multiple of x. Okay, good. Let's go with our this example. Okay, What least number should be added to 1056 so that the sum is exactly divisible by 23? Okay, here we are getting reminder 21. Here in the question itself, they have asked what you are going to add. Okay, so we are not choosing the way here. In the question itself, they have provided we should add something so that 1056 becomes multiple of 23. Okay, so what we have to add? We have to add the difference between 23 and 21, which is nothing but 2. On adding 2 to 1056, it becomes 1058, which is a multiple of 23. Good. Okay, let's begin the third question. 1397 the whole square. Whenever we find the question like this, that is the on bigger number the whole square, and that bigger number is nearer to some hundreds, then what we have to do? We should try to implement a minus b whole square or a plus b whole square or a square minus b square, like that. So okay, whatever formulas we know, we should try to implement. Okay, here 1397 is very closer to 1400. How we can write 1397 as 1400? We can, in terms of 1400, we can write 1397 as 1400 minus 3. So 139 the whole square becomes 14 minus 1400 minus 3 the whole square. It is of the form a minus b the whole square, which is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. On applying the a value as 1400, on applying b value as 3, we will get the solution. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. 5184 is divisible by 132. So we have to find whether 5184 is divisible by 132 or not. Okay, in order to find that, first we have to make or split 132 into simple numbers. How we can write 132 in the form of simple numbers? In order to know the factors of 132, we should write or we should calculate like this. 132 is divisible by 2, 6 times 66, again 6, 11. Okay, we can write the number like this, right? Okay, 2 into 6 into 11. We can write the number like 2 into 6, we can 6 into 11. Here 6 we can write as 2 into 3 into 11. In other words, 4 into 3 into 11. Okay, first we are going to check whether our number 5184 is divisible by 4 or not. In order to check the divisibility condition for 4, what we have to check? We have to consider the last 2 digits. You all remember the condition? It seems you are learning well. Good. 84, right? Okay. Check whether 84 is divisible by 4 or not. Yes, it is divisible, right? So the whole number will be divisible by 4. Okay, we have checked for the first condition. Then what is the second factor? 3, right? What is the condition? Sum of the digits should be divisible by 3, right? 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 8, 14, 14 plus 4, 18. 18 is a multiple of 3. So the whole number is going to be a multiple of 3. In other words, it is divisible by 3. Okay, good. Next number 5184. What is the sum of odd placed digits? 5 plus 8, 13. What is the sum of even placed digits? 1 plus 4, 5. 15 minus 3 is 8. 8 is not a multiple of 11. So it means that it is not divisible by 5184 is not divisible. So 5184 is also not divisible by 132. Why? Because 132 is a combination of 4, 3 and 11, right? Okay, when the number is not divisible by 11, in other words, when the number is not satisfied in the divisibility condition of 11, it is not going to satisfy the divisibility condition of 132. Hence, 5184 is not a multiple of 132. Let's move on. Okay, that's all for the today's class. In the next class, we are going to see the continuation of example problems only. See you in the next class. Okay, I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed this session. If you have any suggestions in my teaching method, please comment below. And if you feel it this video is useful, then please subscribe to Pritya Classroom and share to the one in need of it and help me in spreading my knowledge. Thank you.